Hello everyone, Jon Snedeker here from Notary Signing Agent Blueprint. Welcome to another episode of Signing Agent Secrets. Before we get started, go ahead and comment in below where you're tuning in from. Today we have a very special guest by the name of Corey Robinson. Now Corey's out of Coral Springs, Florida, actually not too far from me. And he is just getting started as a signing agent. Corey, thank you so much for being here today.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on, man.
You got it. So Corey, let's start with your story before loan signings. You are just getting started. So what were you doing before you found out that this was even an opportunity?
So I'm still a full-time pharmacist right now. So I work at a local community hospital, but I have a primary goal of retiring my parents. So I knew I really couldn't do that solely off my pharmacist salary, so I've always been one to just, listen to podcasts and always had an interest in real estate, and I came across a podcast on Bigger Pockets that had a notary on there, and they were talking about, how they use mobile signing agents for some of their deals. And it's just kind of opened my eyes to what was possible. I was like, man, I didn't even know this was here. So
yeah,
fast forward a little bit, I'm listening to this podcast, doing some more research, take one guy's course, and just because I'm just hungry for knowledge and that I always want to learn and kind of just be the best I can be, I signed up and I took your course, and now I'm here as well. So because like for me, I really feel that, knowledge is power, right? Especially if you're coming into the game new, it's going to be hard to kind of break that barrier without the expertise and without the knowledge.
Right. You want the lift off. Yeah. You want lift
exactly.
off. Yeah. Quicker lift off is better.
Exactly.
That's
so I wasn't scared to invest in myself and put some money up for multiple courses to get it done.
That's the way, Corey. I've been through some other, very expensive programs that have nothing to do with loan signings, but investing in yourself is everything. I mean, school, school will give you a job for the rest of your life, but self-education will make you a fortune. And I'm big into real estate myself. I'm not actively right now doing, wholesaling and flips and stuff, but I'm into more of the multifamily arena myself. I've done well over loan signings, and with a genuine self-education, you can do really, really well in real estate. So I'm glad that you found out. So pharmacist to potential full-time loan signing or part-time loan signing agent, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So your aha moment was really, Corey, there's millions and millions of loan transactions out there. And let's just, for now, we'll talk about the residential piece. So not anything multifamily or commercial. So that's a whole different ballgame for loan signings. But on the residential piece, there are millions of transactions. So when you listen to that podcast on Bigger Pockets, say, okay, you know what? I didn't know it existed. And that's part of the battle of people getting into loan signing. So obviously you found out about it. Was there anything in particular that really was like an aha moment that sort of clicked, says, you know what, I actually think I would do this? Is there anything in particular for that at all?
Yeah, it was just a freedom, really, because I work a 7-on, 7-off schedule as a pharmacist. So I have the time to kind of do it, and like potential income where what I was thinking about, I was just like, man, like I can kind of make what I would make as a pharmacist in a day and close to like, 6 hours or so, which is huge.
If you hustle, sure. Yeah, it takes hustle though. It's definitely doable. And that's awesome. So the freedom is big, Corey, and the fact that a lot of people that haven't gotten started, maybe they don't, there's a lot of reasons why people don't start, but the idea is a schedule. That's a hard thing. If you know your schedule, that is like 75% of the battle to like fit these loan signings. You're 7 on, 7 off. The person that sort of trained me when I started was, he worked Thursday to Tuesday, worked the night shift, and commuted from Connecticut to New York. And this guy was up, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning doing loan signings. The guy didn't even sleep yet. And so I loved the hustle. The fact that you know your schedule is everything, because it allows you to sort of fit this in very nicely to get that sort of freedom that you're looking for, which is really, really fantastic. And so the next question is really full-time, part-time. How are you making it work in your schedule? And I think you really already answered that one. It's, you're 7 on, 7 off. And so do you consider yourself, obviously you have a day job, so it'd be hard to have maybe 2 full-time jobs, but do you consider yourself part-time or full-time now? What are your thoughts on
I would
that?
say part-time. I'd say part-time for right now for sure, because the goal is just to start off with the sign-in services, like you said, and then I'm getting married in February, and I'll be moving over to Fort Myers for good, so when I'm over there.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I can plant my feet, a little bit harder over there with some local title companies and start networking with, realtors and stuff like that and get myself in the door.
Okay, so you're moving to Fort Myers, right? From
Yeah,
Coral
correct.
Springs. I've been to both areas. I know both.
Hmm.
I know Fort Myers better than Coral Springs. I've been over there as well. But let me tell you,
Yeah,
a lot of people down here, Corey. For the people that don't know that
yeah.
are watching, Florida right now, it's 2019. The latest stat I read, and this was probably like 8, 9 months ago, is
Hmm.
919 people a day move to Florida. Every single day,
Wow.
1,000 people. It wouldn't surprise me if it is 1,000 now. Every single
Yeah,
they're either going to own, rent, or live with somebody, right? And so all these
yeah.
transactions are going to be happening. But Fort Myers is a very busy area where you should be able to get a
Hmm.
lot of work for sure, which is great. So as far as any
Awesome.
goals that you have, let's talk about your goals.
Yeah. So for the short term, it's just to pretty much source enough funds to fund my wholesale business, and then once I have that and once I have enough experience, I was kind of thinking about the big picture when I first came across this. And I was like, I heard the guy mention that he has a sign-in service in Notary. I was like, man, I could do that as well. That could be a form of passive income where I could build a small team. For as long-term goals, that would be my goal to kind of build a small sign service where I'm able to service the Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral area, and then allow that to help fund other business ventures that I want to do.
Absolutely. Take from, move from one bucket to the next, guys. You don't have to be in 4 places at once. You can build up a business, get
Yeah,
it to the point where it's maybe too busy for you, and then sort of bring someone on, even a virtual assistant possibly. It's not like you need
yeah,
to,
for sure.
you certainly can have someone local, but there's a lot of creative ways to do it, guys, where, if you have a full-time job, 7 on, 7 off, obviously you got to be at your day job, you got to be at loan signings, but
Yeah,
something like a signing service is less dependent on you being
yeah,
somewhere. And so for people
exactly.
that don't know what wholesaling is, do you want to just maybe give an introduction to that for people that are just
Yeah, for sure.
never heard of that word before?
Exactly. So what wholesaling is in its simplest terms is we're finding a house that is either beat up or needs some love, for a discounted price. And then we're selling that house over to investors, whether they're flipping the property to make some extra cash flow on it or they're buying and holding. So in simplest terms, it's just you find something that's discounted that could use some love and you flip it over to an investor that will buy it off.
Right, right. And so, guys, there's a lot of wholesalers out there. When I go to the local real estate investor meetings, and I can hear, okay, now I can see you again. I can still hear you the whole time, but sometimes it was blank. So you're still with us. Guys, the local real estate investor meetings that I go to, you
Okay.
meet a lot of wholesalers, you meet a lot of flippers. Guys, these people need signing agents, whether there's a loan on the transaction. A lot of the wholesalers are the investors buy with hard money loans. They're loans that don't need income criteria requirements or credit requirements. They're basically just a higher rate loan. Guys, these people are still buying the house, and the investors are either going to flip it or they're going to hold it and keep it and rent it out, kind of thing. So there's a lot of investors that you can meet with at
Yeah.
the local RIAs. And so if you're doing your day job and the signings, possibly signing service and the wholesale, we obviously talked a little bit before about making sure you're not spreading yourself
Yeah.
out too thin. You can't try to
Too
start
thin. Yeah.
buckets at once, get one going and then get the second
Yeah.
one going, just to make it more successful. And one thing I also want to touch base on, Corey, is a goal that's larger than yourself, and that's a huge deal. Let's talk about why you have
Yeah.
such an ambition to retire your parents. Is there anything that they've maybe done for you that is like, what, like, let's just touch base on that a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, so my parents have sacrificed so much to see where I'm at and my brothers at. We've seen them sacrifice a lot for us, and it's just they're getting towards the age where it's close to retirement. And this is something I just want to return to them, to where they don't have to worry about going back to work at all. You have to go back to work to, source income that I need. I never want that from my parents. They've done way too much for us to allow that to happen. So I want to be there for them the way that they were there for us for our whole childhood because my my parents would show up after practice for us. They'd be there all the time, support us, our number one. So for me, it's just something that I have on my heart that I want to do for my parents to make sure that they're good during those retirement years.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What a great story. A
Yeah,
lot of people that, you know, my folks, same thing, just they gave so much time. You know, they were always there. They were always there after practice. They were always helpful. It's like, how can you pay them back? What can you do for them in a sense where you could just, anything that's helpful, and just what a fantastic goal. It's something that's larger than yourself. A lot of people call my office that are, I need money now. It's, guys, who are you helping? You know, who are you helping? Are you helping people? Go serve yourself through serving others. Not only are you going to do that in multiple different types of business, but taking care of people that took care of you, right? I mean, that's just a fantastic opportunity.
Exactly.
And, you know, the right mindset to have, Corey. So I definitely not only applaud you for that, but proud of your ambition to do something like that, because that's fantastic. I mean, I don't think there's anything that gets better than that, you know. And once you reach that milestone, I mean, I can only imagine like the weight is going to be maybe lifted off your shoulders, and once you finally get there. That is awesome.
Yeah, exactly, man. I can't wait.
I'm pulling for you. I really am. So let's roll into the next question, Corey. Now, with loan signings, you heard on the podcast and you're just getting started. And I find myself very similar. I'm very, you know, self-educated and never stop learning. Be ambitious. Go network. Go shake some hands. Go meet, you know, realtors and investors and title people in this business. Do you think that this is for loan signings now, because you got multiple buckets going on? Do you think that this is a job that anyone can do, or do you think that you have to be, you know, any sort of requirement to be successful in this business?
No, I think honestly, I think anyone can do this. You know, as long as you are able to talk to people and communicate, and you have that drive, I think anybody can make it happen. I'm telling everybody about this. You know, like I told my cousin, and then I was showing my fiance like what the potential income was, and she was like, "Man, I may just go get my notary commission as well." You know, so I feel that, you know, as long as you have the drive and you're able to communicate with people, I think you'll be fine. There's nothing to worry about whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, doing paperwork is not hard once you know how to do the paperwork. And some people, even if they've never seen loan documents before, oh, okay, well, how long will it take you to learn once you have the documents, right? It's like it's sort of a figure out on the fly kind of job. And there's a lot of things that I help with, but you know, most people, Corey, they don't become a notary to become a loan signing agent. They become a notary through last call we had with Tammy. You know, she's in insurance, and so she's, you know, and I was a loan officer, you know, prior to doing what I'm doing now. And so you really, most people become a notary for something else other than loan signings, and then they usually say, oh, okay, I get it now. I can actually use this to do something. Most people don't even use their notary commission at all for anything. They have to just simply dust it off and then, you know, kind of get started. And that's fantastic. So, and I applaud people, you know, to become a notary is not something that's difficult. It takes a little bit of time, but it's once you have the information up here, that's what allows you to actually take it further, to help more people, to challenge yourself to sort of serve your community at what I consider to be one of the highest levels, which any notary is certainly an honorable job, but if you can do it and help more people and make more money at the same time, why not, you know, combine that to piece it together. Now, do you have any, the next question is, can you paint a picture maybe 6 months from now? Obviously, by then you'll have gotten married, maybe a month after getting married. But what does success look like to you maybe 6 months from now? You got a lot of options out there. What, you know, is there maybe a picture you can paint for us a little bit? Let's talk about it.
I got a lot going on. So, but like for these next couple of months, I'll be focusing primarily on just building this loan signing business. You know, in 6 months from now, I see myself making an extra like $200 to $2,500 a month, you know, to help fund my wholesale business in the future. You know, so once I've established, you know, a nice amount of income, you know, I know I can go over to Fort Myers and build that business up again because I have the experience, you know, and I can start reaching out to local title companies and start networking with realtors to get the job done. So 6 months from now, shortly after I'm married, I'm hoping to, you know, have that nice little income coming in and then start working on my network over in Fort Myers.
That's awesome. And I'll just give you some great advice right now. If you're going to be moving, which you are going to be moving, when you start out, work for national companies only. Now, if you're working, like my point is, if you start working for national companies right now, guess what? All you're going to have to do is just change your address with them. But if you started working for local companies now, unless they had a local office over where you're moving to in Fort Myers, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go that route. When I transferred my business from Connecticut to Florida, I had built it upon a national sort of premise where no matter where I went in the country, I'd be good because you just literally change your address and you don't skip a beat. You just have to become a notary for the state that you're moving to, but everything else is virtually the same. And here in Florida, you're going Florida to Florida. You don't need a new commission. Like nothing changes except for quote unquote your address with those companies. So when you start with national companies, that's just going to make your job a heck of a lot easier. Use them and leverage them. Once you move and transfer, then you can start to develop those local relationships. It just kind of sets yourself up better for success to maximize the opportunity in a way that is going to be beneficial for you sort of long term, which is awesome. Yeah, Fort Myers is a very, very busy area, guys. Almost 1,000 people move here a day. If you're watching and from Florida, or even if you're in a state that people are moving to, guess what? You're going to be doing a lot of purchases. And take Connecticut, for example. A lot of people moving out of Connecticut. Guess what? As a loan signing agent, go do the seller packages, okay? You're capitalizing on the movement of people, and it happens very, very frequently. That is fantastic. I want to talk about the wholesaling piece for just a little bit. Wholesaling is a very unique business where wholesalers say it's not what you own that matters, it's what you control. And so when you get a property under contract and you go to the local RIA meetings and you develop a reputation, when you're there for the wholesale stuff, you're also on your business card have the fact that you're a loan signing agent and a mobile notary signing agent. These investors need people, and although many of them are sort of cranky because they've been dealing with tenants for 30 years, guess what? They still need their transactions taken care of, you know? So when they buy a property, when they sell a property, a normal person may buy a place and hang on to it for 7 years. Well, guess what, Corey? I've been, as you know, when you work with investors, these people can be doing, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 transactions a month. I regularly go to some of the same investors when they're buying a place and they're selling a place. I got a guy that's got like 150 houses out in Indiana, but guess what? He lives by me and he likes me, and I go and do all of his transactions too. So it's like you can go and find the people that are controlling the majority of the transactions and go rub elbows with them, right? You're going to be there to be a good wholesaler to the investors, and then make sure you have a good deal with some meat on the bones for them. And then in addition to that, make sure you're going to do their specific transactions, and, you know, go be a buddy to them in the business. You know, yes, business can be tough sometimes, and especially in the real estate business, but the idea is when you become friends with them, they'll want to do business with you. They'll like you. They'll trust you. They'll believe that that wholesale deal is still going to have some sort of meat on the bone, and then they'll want you to do their transaction. Maybe, you know, don't notarize your own transaction, but obviously notarize their other transactions.
Transactions.
That's fantastic. And so, do you have any advice, Corey, for people that maybe are not as ambitious as you, maybe not as self-educated as you, people that are still sort of on the fence to take the first step, whether it's let's just do it for anything, whether it's a wholesale business, whether it's getting a high quality, you know, pharmaceutical job, or starting a loan signing business. Do you have any advice or any wisdom for people that are, you know, sort of struggling to take the first step in any direction?
You just have to jump, you know, because everything's not going to happen the way that you think will happen. You know, sometimes you have a vision and you expect it to play out in a certain way, and it doesn't always happen that way, you know, but you have to just take a leap of faith and get it done, you know, and fail forward essentially, you know, because it's really our failures that really kind of teach us these life lessons that we need to know. And that's what we can take every time we transform into a different business, you know. So if you're scared to take that jump, you know, you never know what may be happening, because like we say in wholesale, you're one deal away from changing your life. That's all it is. It takes one deal, you can change your life drastically. You know, so for anyone who's on the fence, just take the jump, because you don't want to be stuck in these golden handcuffs for the rest of your life off of a job that you probably hate, because no one wants to work 40 years for the rest of their life, you know. So this loan signing business could be your gateway. It could be the way for you to kind of get out of that rat race, allow you to kind of open more doors for stuff that you never knew was available to you. So that's how I feel about it.
Absolutely. And I can attest to that. You know, when you become a loan signing agent, you're going to meet with investors, you're going to meet with attorneys, you're going to meet with specific, real estate attorneys, syndication attorneys for, multifamily deals. You're going to meet with title reps, you're going to meet with realtors, and you're going to meet with everybody. And my sort of, I don't even have the spinnable Rolodex, but I call it my Rolodex. My stack of business cards is huge, guys. These are not, it's not the fact that they're important, it's the fact that you are developing your network. Your network is your net worth. And when you figure that out, things sort of change. You develop a better handshake. You speak to people in terms where it's not about you, it's about how can you help them, and you develop those relationships and they turn into something. I've taken many multifamily investors, multifamily apartment investors out to coffee from people that, from a loan signing transaction I've done with them on a residential property. I personally don't do commercial loan signings whatsoever. I stick to residential, but you can connect with these people after the signing. You don't need to do it right on the spot, but you meet a lot of great people, and that's really great advice to sort of jump. You don't want to be miserable in a job for 30, 40 years. You don't have to be. It's easier to create a business in general, any business. It's easier now more than ever. Everything's online. And, I want to bring up one thing that you mentioned was fail forward. Guys, everybody learns through their own experience, but when you partner with other people, when you network with other people, you're not just using your own experience to leverage that. You're leveraging their experience, the wisdom of their entire lifetime. Go find someone 30, 40 years ahead of you, and not only use and learn from your experience, go learn from their experience. Go read a book, right? Me and Corey are probably pretty avid readers. Guys, these people are dropping a lifetime of knowledge into a book. Go be an avid reader and set yourself up for success in any area of your life that's important. If you want to go run a wholesale business, go read the wholesale books. Go to your local RIAs and find wholesalers. If you want to be a loan signing agent, go network with mentors. Go talk to someone. I have obviously we have our program. Oh, we lost them, disconnected. Well, that's too bad. Corey, thank you, Corey Robinson. Oh, he's back on, Corey. Uh-oh. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know they could do that. Corey, can you hear us? Maybe he's still there. Oh, I think he's coming on. Hey, there we are.
Yeah, I think I lost you.
Yeah, I didn't. That's awesome. You're able to get back on. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Having a little bit of trouble. I can see you. I can hear you a little bit, but maybe it'll get better with time. But I was just mentioning to everyone that you can leverage your experience and leverage the network and experience of other people to sort of fast track your liftoff in any particular business, and that's really fantastic that you value that. So hopefully he can still see and hear us, but either way. Can you hear me okay, Corey, by chance?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, guys, we're having a little bit of difficulty. Really proud of Corey Robinson to not only come on our show, have a goal that's larger than himself, that is absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait until he helps retire his parents. I can't wait until he funds his wholesale business through loan signings. And what fantastic ambition that he has to make it happen, guys. He's got a full-time job and he's still making it happen. He's not making excuses. He's making moves. And he obviously, shout out to Bigger Pockets on their podcast. Really, really fantastic resources that I've been reading their stuff for many, many years. A lot of friends that have been on there as well. So guys, thank you so much for being here. If you're still watching and can still hear us, which I know I'm not able to hear and see Corey at this point, but I want to thank him for being here. If you're still watching, go ahead and like and share this video. We want to help you start your loan signing career. On our website, notarysigningagentblueprint.com, we have a free 90-minute training that'll go over a lot of things about getting started as a signing agent. So We appreciate you being here. Can you still, we can see you now again, Corey. Thank you so much for coming back. Can you hear me okay?
Definitely.
Oh, good. Do you have,
appreciate being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming back. I didn't know it would still, it sort of, you were left and came back, but it's still recording, which is pretty neat. So thank you for coming back. We do appreciate you being here. Very proud of your, not only ambition, but hustle. And, you know, it doesn't take much to get started. You had some really, really great wisdom for people. Just jump. What's the worst that could happen? Figure out what your goals are, find a way to make it happen, and you don't need to go up this long, lonely uphill battle. Go network with mentors, go talk to people, get on and listen to podcasts, go read the websites, read the books, and go make it happen. I mean, that's exactly what Corey's doing, and clearly he's headed in the right direction. We're proud of you, my friend.
Appreciate it, brother, man. Try to make it happen.
That's it. Well, keep me posted on the progress you're making. We're very happy for you. And again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, Don. It's a pleasure, brother.
Thank you for being here.